The Deck Network. Build a deck.
Bam! This is the Deck Network. I'm your host, Mike Danzilio, and we have the loose cannon right here.
The co-host, Matt Dalton. Remember, here at the Deck Network, it's all decks all the time.
Great job,
you know
there,
it.
Matt. Yeah, good
It's a
job.
catchphrase, man.
Okay, so Matt, let's get going on this show.
What are we doing?
Today's show is on Trex Railings. Trex,
Nice.
leader in the industry, introduced the category back in the early 90s.
We're going to get railed. Let's
They got
do it.
Great stuff. Very nice. Let's go right to the
Trex.com.
Railing site.
So, Mike,
Trex Railing?
with the railing, are we still talking good, better, best?
You know, they're Trex has, let's look on here. They have a less expensive rail here, the Select line, the
Okay.
Select railing, which is going to cost less than even a PVC rail. It has some similar parts, but then they have the Transcend rail and their new Signature series rail, which used to be called the Reveal rail. It's the aluminum, and they're setting that up for when they have some new decking coming around the corner here. So there's pretty much a inexpensive, and then they're two top of their flagship lines, the Transcend and the Signature line. And
Nice.
we sell all of them here at No Maintenance Decks.
Is it more of a style match that people are looking for? Or is it color? Is that
Well, let's look at them.
Let's do it. That's why the show's here.
Okay,
I mean-
so we're going to start with the Select rail.
Okay.
And I don't have one here, but I have a lot of pictures here. Select rail is they use the standard. Man, I want to grab that second one there. That's the Trex.
We have so much of this
Transcend.
product
This
on
is the Trex
display here.
Transcend white rail.
Check it.
This is the standard Transcend sleeve, cap, and skirt. This is the Transcend white kit. Comes in 6 and 8 foot sections, but it's the same. You use this same part for the Select rail. Same parts here, but the rail is just a less expensive rail. It's still a composite rail, so it's going to always last longer than a PVC rail, and it's priced comparable. It has a lot larger hardware. So, as we've been saying for years, the less you pay for a rail, the more hardware you're going to see. So let's just slide that
Can you
one
guys
down,
grab this?
and we'll
Thank you, guys.
get the interns over here for that.
Over here. Okay.
So then let's take a look at some of these pictures. Hey, they look fine. Let's just keep that off to the
Let's
side.
keep that.
We're
Can you guys grab this? All right.
yeah,
great.
we're still going to be looking at the. This is the Select rail. Can't really doesn't show it as well, but you do see a little bit of hardware showing. But for the most part, it's a composite rail, and a lot of the Trex pros use it because it still works against their Trex number for the year, which works great for them. So you can see it a little closer. It's got the little piece of white hardware around it, but you save a lot of money by using that. So let's look at that. You know, there's just, for the most part, the bottom part still looks pretty
Very
similar.
functional rail. Looks
Oh,
good.
heck yeah, yeah.
I was kind of able to balance my drink
Remember,
on it. I could see a couple beers falling.
It's
finding their
well, that was
untimely
that was
demise.
the Transcend rail with the rounded top. But
Okay.
let's get into that right now. And
Let's
it's
do
just
it.
the last photo of the Trex. It only comes in white, and so again, you use the same Transcend sleeve, cap, and skirt in a 6 and 8 foot horizontal and stair parts, and they do cost less than a PVC rail. All right, so let's go into let's take a look at the Trex Transcend rails. This is the one we've been selling for years, and we sell the most of them. So let's pull that one that we had that other one. Yeah, let's well, okay, that's fine. Well, this has a little bit of these are little handles on it. But this is what's great about the Trex Transcend railing is its versatility. You can do so much with it because all the parts are sold separately. They have this is the bottom rail, what they call the universal /bottom, top bottom, which so you can keep it on the bottom or you can put it on the top, just flip it over it, and you give a flat, and then you can have the mat rails. Show how it works.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now this would usually be a beverage, maybe alcoholic, whatever you want, and it's going to stay right up here. Mike, is this just a piece of decking?
That's
up here?
just a piece of decking, and what also can be
It
done
works.
is that you can still extend these posts up a little bit, use the standard caps on it, and there are 2x4s in the Trex Transcend Tropics colors. That's new for 2017. You can take a look at the Trex decking show that we have on the Deck Network for that.
Heard it here first.
So let's yank that one out
Guys
of there.
grab this?
Yeah, let's pull that gray one in.
All right. Sharp
All
looking rail right
this
here.
is the Gravel Path Trex Transcend rail. Again, all the parts are sold separately. So we have the sleeve, the cap, the skirt. This one just happens to be a lighted pyramid cap. This is what they call the crown top rail. It's a rounded, very traditional. This is the standard setup. And so it's just the same standard as we saw in the first one, the white one, but it's just in the gray, the gravel path color. You could put this piece upside down, and you could put a 2x4. Now they have the 2x4 in the island mist color. Again, check that out on another one of the videos.
We have the videos
Okay.
in the library. Just do some clicking.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of these photos. This is the most important photo that I wanted to show you here. This is the rail that was on the brochure, in the middle of the brochure for 3 years ago, or last year. Then we had it was on the cover.
Centerfold cover. This is the hot model.
This year they got the Trex kitchen cabinets on there. But this is the picture that's been very, very. This one right here. It has the Transcend posts, white Transcend posts, and it has the. This is the same rail.
This is the rail that got the cover of the John Madden
Well,
game.
yeah. Well, this is the nice. This is what we. This one right here. This picture. If you take a look at the Trex rail brochure,
You can get it right
almost
here
in
in
the
No
middle.
Maintenance Decks
Yes.
here in Farmingdale.
And it's
Epicenter
this one
decking.
we sell a lot of. All kinds of this. It's the white Transcend sleeve cap and skirt. It has the Transcend vintage lantern crown top and the universal on the bottom, and the black round balusters.
Looks like it really complements the decking in this.
Oh, it
instance.
looks great. We sell
Yeah.
it all the time here at No Maintenance.
I gotta
Decks.
get, like the picture, I gotta get the pool and I gotta get some chicks swimming in it. I don't know who I talked to about that, but
Well, you got your own little.
you know, we
thing
have
going.
fans of the Deck Network. We get
Okay,
tons
this
of
one
emails.
is
What do we got?
this is a picture of a
Curved.
treehouse curved railing from the top.
That
of
looks cool.
Stair rail, and this great deck, lots of round, and it's the same nice rail that vintage lantern rail with the black round balusters and the white sleeves, caps, and skirt. It's very popular. Here it's the same again. I mean, it looks
That
great
looks
at
good.
almost any house.
Yeah.
When people say, "Well, should I put white on it?" Well, if we're at the showroom over here, I'll take them out to the side part of the property, and I'll say, "Turn around and we'll look at the side of the Deck Network studio right here, right outside the door here." And it's kind of like a creamish light brown.
It's
color.
like a Narnia of decking
Yeah.
down there.
And
It's
then
really
we have
impressive.
white trim. So we have white trim on the rake boards going around, and the corner boards, and around the doors we have white. So I say you have white on your verticals, so you can put white on your verticals, and it matches on your railings. And whatever you want to do, that's what's great about this railing is it has design flexibility to the extreme. You can do so much with it. You can customize it to your own liking, or you can do something standard, but you can do so much with it. All the parts are sold separately. You can get the combinations are in the tens of thousands of things that you
Wow.
can do. So it's great stuff. They come in all of the standard, the Transcend colors. They have the charcoal black, of course the classic white, the fire pit, which is the brownish reddish color, the treehouse, which is a medium brown, the rope swing color, which is be the light brown, the gravel path, which we just saw a minute ago, and that's the gray, and the vintage lantern is the dark brown. That's the one that we sell the most of, besides the white. And we may even sell more parts in this vintage lantern color than we do in the white. It's just huge seller, and working with Trex has been just great over the years. So I figured you'd be asking about price, so I decided that
That's what's important, Mike. We can
Yeah.
look at all the features and
So
everything,
if
but
we
the
let's take a
money,
look.
that's what we
If you
care
want to give a
about.
big scoop on that first one over there, that white one, right there.
What's something like this going to cost me?
Okay,
Mike,
this
if I came
rail
to No
here,
Maintenance Decking in
if-
Farmingdale.
If we take when I price out rails, I get a sleeve, a cap, a skirt, a 6-foot section of rail. This is not what you'd call drink friendly.
Yeah.
But it's more of the classic design. And these kits, these come in 6s and 8s, of course, in horizontal or in stair. This one with just one sleeve cap and skirt, 6-foot section of rail, added up, divided by 6, pre-tax, it comes out to $29.50 a linear foot.
Not bad.
That's for a composite rail. That's really good. Now, people will say, is this hardware or this gasket right here? Well, it's not hardware. It doesn't hold the rail together. It's very difficult to get a perfect cut, and even if you do get a perfect cut, your post, once you slide this sleeve over your post, it's not always 100% perfect. It just kind of makes it look a little finished. You don't have to use it. I know plenty of carpenters that don't use the gaskets. They just make sure they do a nice clean cut, they put it together, looks great. So this one is at $29.50. Now if you take the same rail and you replace these composite balusters with the black round balusters that you see on this picture that we have in the back here. Then that one's about $33.50. So that's not bad. You're getting a upgraded railing for a pretty good price. Then of course Matt's going to ask, well, how much is this rail that we have that we've been talking about and gushing over?
Yeah.
That one's about $41.50 a linear foot.
Now that's with the aluminum balusters.
Aluminum balusters, the vintage lantern crown top and universal bottom, and the white Transcend sleeve cap and skirt. That's without the lights. What's nice about these rails is they have it's an acrylic finish on them.
Okay.
And so it lasts. And we've had some of these here at the Deck Network studio before it was even the Deck Network. That is just still out there in the sun, and yeah, because it's outside, it's going to get dirty. So we clean them off once a year or so, and they look just like
looks great.
They look brand new again.
That's why you put the deck up today. You still want it to look good years down the road.
Yep. So then, let's go back to pricing for a second.
What's it
we
gonna
had the
cost
Select rail, which we first talked about. The Select rail is their basic rail. That's about $25 a linear foot, and that's not too bad because a lot of PVC rails cost more than that, and it's a composite rail. It's not a PVC rail, so it's a little bit nicer.
Stain and fade warranties on these, Mike?
I think they're 10 or 12 or 15 years or so, but there's not the color. Nothing happens to the colors on those colored ones, and the white ones they stay white. Yeah. And so the Transcend rail, I said, was the 4150, and the Trex colored rail, the Transcend rail, the colored rail, like that one we had, the gray rail, without the lighted cap. These are in the 4250. So they're not cheap, but it's quality. So remember that these lengths, they're 6 and 8 foot, what they call center to center. So the railing itself, the 6-footer is 67.5 inches long, and the 8-footer is 91.5 inches long. So it's not a true 6 and 8 foot rail. It's 6 and 8 foot center to center of the posts. That's how they want to work that. So then now let's take a look at their signature rail. It's got the lights. So pull that one right over here. Oh, Matt. This is their new rail. For the first few years, they were calling it the Reveal rail, so they rebranded it. And
comes with electrical, Mike. What's this all about?
Well, that's for the light. So you have a post cap light. This is new for 2017.
Very sleek.
And they got this really nice little angled wedge light there. That's really sharp.
Better than having solar here.
Well, the thing about solar is that the technology hasn't gotten to a point that they're going to last a long time. So you can buy a solar light and it may not cost a lot, but it's not going to last very long. And then you're going to still see a solar panel on the top of it.
Yeah, I've seen
that. Yeah, they don't really look all that great. So it's still, with the technology that we have in 2017,
plug it in,
you want to plug it in to a 110, and then it's going to send it through a transformer that's going to send it down to 12 volts AC, and then it has to be switched over to 12 volt DC.
I love that band, Mike.
Yeah. So all LEDs are DC powered.
Good to know.
So that's how that works. This is a great rail.
Yeah, how much per this one now?
That's in the it's less than the Transcend colored rails. So it's in the $40 a foot range without the lights, with the standard but it's pretty good. And what everyone seems to be really like about the aluminum rails, and that's why they're becoming more popular these days, is that people are saying, I'd like a rail that has less of a profile. Well, yeah, definitely has less of a profile here. And these are still a 2.5 inch post as opposed to a 4 or 4.5 inch post. It's almost half the size.
Yep.
And they're very strong. Another great point about these rails are that if you want to add railings to a stoop or a patio and it's masonry, if you were going to use a composite rail, you would have to screw in one of these, a flush mount post, and slide it over. And they're in the $55 a piece range. But these rails, the aluminum rails, you can't really see in here, but they're all ready. You get that flush mount post. However you want to do it. They don't come with any hardware.
I was just going to say, you don't really see a lot of hardware.
Well, it's got the underneath here. There are 4, for lack of a better word, lag screws, and it depends upon how the carpenter wants to do it. If you're old school, kind of like I am, you'll use a hammer drill the hole, clean it out, and you'll put one of those lead shields in there. I used to always still put some silicone adhesive in there because you only got one shot at these. get it right the first time, and then you just put your lag screw in, and they hold really well. Now the young guys are using these Tapcon things, and they just screw it in, and it holds great. But these aluminum rails work really well on bluestone. And
Yeah,
well,
that'll
if you
look
have
good.
blocks or bricks, it's only going to be as strong as what it's attached to. So if it's cemented in there, then it's going to be strong. But if it's just laying in there, it's not going to hold up. So it's not the rail that does that.
Do we have to worry about these heating up in the sun, Mike?
Well,
or-
again, this is aluminum, and aluminum is very conductive.
Okay.
So when and this is black, so conventional wisdom would say that this is going to be hot when it's 90 degrees outside. But in actuality, it absorbs the heat and then it disperses it through the rest of the rail. So these are somewhat cool to the touch, even in the wintertime.
Nice.
Oh, excuse me, the summertime.
Wow. Yeah. So no worries there then. That's great
Yeah,
to
no,
know.
it's excellent. People want to have a less profile rail, smaller post. This is how it's done.
Looks good.
Yeah, great
Sleek
stuff.
too. Very
yeah,
modern
oh,
looking.
Yeah.
You know, you have
They're in the
lighting
form-
options, obviously.
Yeah,
for
and
a couple
there'll
bucks
be a
more.
show on the Trex Lighting coming down the way pretty soon.
Coming down the internet
Yeah.
pipe.
So
Great stuff here
and
today.
there's also an attachment for those signature rails, so you can put a flat top on it. So you can have a Matt's drink rail, or as you can see.
It'll
back
basically,
in.
yeah, like this,
Yeah.
basically, but in a rail. And
Yes.
This is real drink. There's nothing in this one today.
Okay, but take a look at the Trex website, especially the railing section. That's going to tell you all about these things.
Trex.com.
Come to No Maintenance Sex in Farmingdale, New York. We
It's
have
worth
all
the
the
trip.
products here, and this is what we do. It's so that's it for today's show. If you have any questions, you can write them to me at mike@thedecknetwork.com, or
The wacky co-host, Matt at thedecknetwork.com.
you're going to have to take a look at that site.
I'm going to see what's going on. There's tons of mail. We're getting mail from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
All
There's
over
a
the
lot
place.
going
Decks
on.
are going up, and we're helping them go up.
Well, this is when we were at the International Builder Show a few weeks ago.
You
You didn't go?
I never get invited. I never leave the studio.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm stuck here. But maybe next time, maybe you guys write in enough emails. Attention, Mr. Big, the guy funding the whole network.
When we
He's
were-
the eye in the sky to get me out of the studio.
When we were at the International Builder
We'll have
Show,
fun on
and
the
of course
road,
we're walking around with the whole.
go get
with
one
the
of those
crew,
steaks, man.
The Deck Network crew.
There's a
And-
whole bunch of people behind the
and
scenes
people
that you
just
don't
like
see here.
grab it at us. Mike, come
You
to
know,
it.
yeah.
They recognize. I met some gentlemen from Turkey, and they took pictures with us. And
You're shaking hands, kissing
yeah.
babies. I'm back here in the studio, just here in the studio.
The
But we have a
bridesmaid,
fun
never the
time.
bride. Always.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
always.
have a fun time.
Okay, so that's it for today's show. Again, have a great day.
I'm gonna throw this at the camera now.
Bye.
Ciao for now.